Hi friends, it's Murph. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I thought I'd share another family favorite with you. We call this fruit cocktail cake. I had it when I was a kid. I haven't made it too many times recently, but I was looking through my recipe book and I thought this is a really good classic one to share. It might not have all the ingredients you like. We can change it up a little bit, leave out some of the nuts or other things, but I'm going to show you how we make it and then we can tweak it from there. Okay, let's get started. It's really super easy. In this bowl, I have 2 cups of flour and 1.5 cups of sugar. To it, I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of salt and 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Did you notice I added an R to soda? Baking soda is what I said. I just caught it. Must be my main accent, I guess. Now we're going to add 2 eggs. All right, start to stir that up. And then there's kind of a secret ingredients to this fruit cocktail cake. Any ideas? Let's go with fruit cocktail. We're gonna add a 15-ounce can, and we're gonna add everything, juice and all. This one says it's in light syrup. If you used heavy syrup, that would be okay. It's all good, right? Okay. So we're going to mix that up. Now, the recipe calls to bake it in a 9x13 pan for 40 minutes. Well, I already used my 9x13 pan today, which I'll show you in a minute. And so I'm going to put this in a couple of round pans, just some 9-inch round pans. Now, I spray my pan with like some Pam, some cooking spray, and then I just dust it a little bit with flour. Sometimes there's the spray that has the flour in it. I'm sure that would be fun. So I have 2 pans right here, and I'm just going to break it in half. So there's one right there. And I'm going to save the rest for this pan, but you don't need to see me do that, huh? Okay, so let's talk about the pan. So if this was a 9x13 or the whole batch, or you did the 2 separate batches, this is the next step before we bake it in the oven. We're gonna bake it at 350 and we're gonna bake it for 40 minutes. If you use a smaller pan, I would check it in 30. But when I use my 9x13, I bake it in 40 minutes, okay? In this bowl, and this is where you can change it if you don't like walnuts or anything, but this is a half a cup of brown sugar and a half a cup of walnuts, just some chopped walnuts. I'm just gonna kind of mix it together just because this is the topping, okay? So now we're just gonna sprinkle it on the pan. And remember, I gotta save a little bit for the other pan. So that looks like it's about half, okay? So that looks pretty good, huh? Let's set that aside, and then I'll show you the warm one that just come out of the oven. So this is my grandfather's pan, so you know it's gonna taste good because there's so much love in this pan. It just makes me happy every time I use it. It's my go-to pan for my 9x13. Now this is what it looks like. But we're not done. But if you look in the corner right there, you can see the brown sugar and all the caramelization. Oh my goodness, this is like heaven. Okay, we need to add a little bit of a topping to it. You might wanna change this up too, but I'm just gonna show you the basics. So, in a saucepan, off the stove. This is kind of important. You want to make sure your cake is warm when you add the topping. So a few minutes ago, in a saucepan on the stove, I put a half a cup of evaporated milk in the saucepan. This is what it looks like. To that I added a 1/3 cup of my favorite ingredients because it makes everything better, and that's my friend butter. So a 1/3 cup of butter, a half a cup of evaporated milk, and let me just look at my recipe card to make sure I don't forget anything. 3/4 cup of sugar and a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm gonna write this all down for you, so don't worry about it at all if you wanna, because I don't remember everything either. Okay, so here, almost done. We have to add one more thing before we put it to our cake, and it's a half a cup of coconut. Now, If you like all these ingredients, I hope you try it like this. If you don't, if for some reason you can't have nuts, or you can't have coconut, or you don't like it, whatever, I'm sure if we eliminate a few things, it's still gonna be really good. So let's take a look and see what this looks like right now. Look at that. Oh, yummy. All right, we're gonna pour that right over this warm cake. I'm so glad I just made myself another cup of coffee. I can tell you what, I'm gonna be having a little piece of this right off. Okay, let's set that aside. Then we're just gonna kind of give it a little spread. My mouth's watering. That is about it. Trying to make sure it gets all in. So as it sits, if you let it sit, I'm not gonna, because I can't wait. If you let it sit, it's gonna soak into the cake and it's just gonna be like a little bit of heaven, right? Let's get myself a cup of coffee in my new Murph's Kitchen mug. I don't know if you like the edges, but I do. Let's get out another piece so you can just see. Oh, it's like crispy on the edges a little bit. It's gonna be just like good. Okay. Just make sure you grease your pan, and it's really important to put a little bit of flour just to help it not stick. Okay, look at that. Looks good, huh? Well, I'll let you know in just a second. I know it smells good. There's the chunks of the fruit cocktail right in there. I don't know if you want to try anything else, but oh my God. Sorry. I love all the flavors. I can taste the brown sugar and the walnuts, and then that coconut glaze is just like, it's really good. I hope you like it, and I hope you try it. Reach out with any questions, and I'll see you real soon. Take care.